We all know the feeling. The heavy walk down a quiet corporate hallway toward a closed boardroom door, knowing you have to walk inside and report that a project has failed. The vocabulary you choose in the first 5 minutes inside that room determines the atmosphere of the meeting. It is the difference between a team looking for a solution and a team looking for an exit. This diagram illustrates the intersection of emotional intelligence, strategic communication, and clarity and empathy. Strategic communication acknowledges a difficult reality without making a sensitive situation worse, while clarity and empathy prevent unnecessary confusion and help teams plan for the future. Precision strips away that confusion. When a team knows exactly what kind of failure they are dealing with, they can immediately lay the groundwork for recovery. Some setbacks involve the sudden loss of a cherished but ultimately unrealistic workplace dream. This graphic illustrates the idiom bursting a bubble that nots the rapid, jarring transition from a pleasing fantasy to profound, sobering disappointment. Applied here, a marketing director presents hard data shattering a CEO's unfounded optimism about a product launch. Because this phrase implies destroying hope, it carries a warning: use only when a reality check is professionally mandatory. Recognizing this as a purely emotional failure prevents a critical management error. Leaders who understand this won't treat devastated team morale like a simple calculation error. We move from emotional disillusionment to objective data. Many setbacks are entirely measurable. This illustrates falling short, visualizing a measurable gap where the yellow bar of actual results remains distinctly below the dashed target line, despite the effort. Here, an HR department executed a rigorous recruitment drive, but missed the specific number of applicants needed. Under proximity to success, we see that work was done and the event occurred, but simply missed the required mark. Categorizing a failure this way acknowledges the team's hard work while defining the exact numerical gap that still needs closing. Then there are the scenarios where the entire foundation collapses and absolutely nothing is salvaged. This captures falling through, showing a physical plan dropping into a deep crack, representing the total disintegration or complete cancellation of an agreement. Consider two tech firms negotiating a partnership where investors pull funding at the last minute, causing the deal to collapse. The root cause is external. Unforeseen complications render execution impossible, distinguishing this from a lack of internal effort. Identifying a failure as falling through directs the room's frustration toward external logistical barriers rather than sparking a search for blame within the team. Separating those last two objective failures from one another is vital for diagnosing the core issue and choosing a recovery path. This side-by-side comparison distinguishes a performance issue where an event happened but missed the mark directly from a logistical collapse where the event was entirely canceled. We pull these concepts together into the Professional Setback Matrix, a diagnostic tool to instantly categorize workplace failures. Notice how each expression maps directly to a specific context: emotional, quantitative, or structural, predicting a very different typical outcome. Accurately plotting your bad news onto this board tells you exactly which management strategy you need to deploy to fix the underlying issue. The words you choose from that matrix dictate your team's next move. Vocabulary in a crisis operates as a direct metric of a leader's professional accuracy. As this text highlights, selecting the exact correct phrase to describe a failure proves a high degree of emotional intelligence to your peers and superiors. The text concludes with a practical reality. Unclouded, clear communication is the mandatory first step toward effective recovery. When you are standing in the middle of a crisis, your vocabulary has to become your most vital diagnostic instrument. True leadership means accepting that failure happens and mastering the exact language needed to survive it, learn from it, and get back to work.